What's good, what's good, what's good? You already know who it is. It's the Mafia. It's time for that culture for the streets. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not leave up out the traps or you've been served. Anyway, I just want to get into a couple things, you know what I'm saying? We got some shit going on this evening. But first and foremost, man, I want to talk about my state's hero, you see what I'm saying? And I ain't just saying specific city because he comes from Akron, but he is a Ohio hero. LeBron James becomes the first active NBA player to become a millionaire, joining Jordan and Kobe Bryant, who they also did after they retired. He became a billionaire being an active player still. Big accomplishment, and it's a super big accomplishment coming from somebody from Ohio. We know where he come from in Ohio. We know the situations he come from. We know his upbringing, and we know the adversity he had to overcome to get to where he made it, to get to where he is at today. Like, he's one of the most successful people to come up out of a ghetto in Ohio. You see what I'm saying? And that's big because he became an inspiration for a whole state. He can go anywhere in Ohio and we love him to death. Like, it doesn't matter where we see him at. Like, LeBron is the standard. LeBron is the hometown hero. LeBron is the state's example of a legend. You can't take nothing from him. So for him to accomplish this feat right here, becoming a millionaire, a billionaire, that's major. And he did it while he's still playing. But this ain't nothing that I didn't think was gonna happen because LeBron came out of high school, $90 million shoe deal, $15 million rookie deal. That's already $105 million, and we ain't even counting all the endorsements and all that other stuff. So he came out of high school already headed to be, he was already headed for greatness coming out of high school. All he had to do was live up to the expectations and the hype, and he did live up to every bit of the hype and the expectations. He got rings. He promised Cleveland a ring. Whether he left or not, he came back and gave them a ring. I was actually sitting in them stands during some of them playoff games when they won them finals. So to see and witness all of that, and the parade had 1.3 million people downtown Cleveland, all these things, you got to understand that the environment that LeBron brought really did set a standard for athletes. Man, just people that want to be something in life, because don't let your environments don't dictate your future. And he the perfect example of that. He came from a harsh environment just like anybody else, and he became something. And you don't never see like slander on LeBron's name. You don't see him caught up in scandals. You don't see him caught up in the typical social media hoopla. He don't do really none of that. And he give back to his people. He support people. He is like the poster child for what a athlete supposed to be like, man. We see a lot of athletes get caught up in scandals, drug use, women abuse, domestic violences, gambling issues, all kind of shit. Even Kobe had things behind him, you know what I'm saying, where they try to tarnish his image. Jordan had a lot of things going on behind him where they try to tarnish his image, behind his gambling and all these types of things. When you look at LeBron, there's nothing there. Clean slate. Empty chalkboard. Nothing but accomplishments. You really can't say nothing bad about him. The only argument people always have about LeBron is the fact that he ain't got as many rings as Jordan. I don't really care about that because I didn't watch Jordan in the finals for 10, 11 years straight. Jordan went to the finals, but we watched LeBron in the finals for a whole decade. That's greatness. I don't give a fuck if you win all of them or not. You see what I'm saying? So salute to that man LeBron on becoming the first active NBA player to become a billionaire. Huge accomplishment, man. And he sets the standard for athletes coming up under him. You got Ja Morant and all these other athletes that's out there that could be these things too in the future. So he set the standard to be the example to them of what they could be when if they elevate their success and they keep progressing. You know what I'm saying? So salute to LeBron, man. James, King James, man. Akron's finest. And, you know, I want to get into this other shit with Ralo. Finally got sentenced. He got 8 years. Free Ralo. He been locked down for 4 years. He been clowning while he been in the feds. He He's a real life hustler. He stand on principles. He didn't rat. You see what I'm saying? He fed his community. He had a whole backing behind him because he fed everybody. You see what I'm saying? Nigga owned a housing establishment, all these types of things. And the level that Ralo was at, he could have went down on some kingpin shit, but he didn't. So to come out with only 8 years with time served plus all these other adjustments to the laws and all this other shit, they saying, well, his lawyers are saying that he possibly could be out in the next year. So, free Ralo, but he on his way though. You see what I'm saying? And to be going through all the shit that he went through, you know, the average person going through that type of shit, they gonna go through way more type of shit. But Ralo had money. Ralo was smart. You ain't hearing about niggas ratting on Ralo in his case. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of things going on with him. Like, he was sturdy. The shit around him, his circle, it was sturdy. You really can't mimic that because it's hard to have that right now. Look what's going on with Yak Gotti. You getting caught with cell phones in the jail. Now they saying that you gave up some information on a murder with Lil Duke and other suspects from another shooting in another of some years past and shit. So it's like, is that true or false? We don't know, but if it is true, here goes one of YSL members giving up the ghost. So now, once that start happening, you got to understand a lot of other shit about to start happening. A lot of other niggas about to get in trouble too. All because one nigga starts spilling the beans. And when one nigga start doing it, some more niggas about to start doing it. So I don't know if it's true, if it's a fact, but it is documents out where it underlines and it says that nigga gave such and such a gun and da-da-da-da-da. It's like right there on the paperwork. It's paperwork posted up on the social medias and all that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? You can go see for yourself. But I'm just saying, allegedly, if he's snitching, this is ugly for YSL. Granted, he said he served 4 years straight in the jail. 4 years versus life sentence is two different things, nigga. You know that, I know that, and nigga outside in the streets know that. So quit using that as a reason to not had been told. This is a whole nother situation. We talking about murders, we talking about RICOs, racketeering, gang injunction, all kind of shit. That's different. Now, I hope it ain't true, because I don't, you know, I'm not picking no sides, YSL, YFN. I'm rooting for both of these niggas to get through their situations and get back to their families, you know what I'm saying? Because as street niggas, we give up our freedom for this fuck shit outside that ain't more important than our family. Our family more important, so we gotta go back to that versus, you know what I'm saying, this make-believe life outside that we gotta be so dedicated to the streets, because the streets ain't dedicated to you once your ass go to jail. And a nigga that done been to jail, prison, feds, whatever you done been to, state, it don't matter. You know what I mean when I say that, because you're going to lose friends, you're going to lose females, you're going to lose family, whether they pass or they just disconnect from your life, because their life don't pause just because yours stop when you go to jail. You see what I'm saying? So I hope both parties see it through their situations, come home and get to their family and get back to their riches and their business, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really wish jail on nobody. It's just unfortunate that they got themselves hemmed up in all this, you know what I'm saying, bullshit. Because that's really what it is a bunch of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And just a little update on Master P and his daughter Tatiana. She overdosed from addiction. So once again, prayers to him and his family, you know what I'm saying, for loss of life, you know what I'm saying, because it's a lot of that going on in the world, not just in one specific city. These drugs is taking out a lot of people nowadays from state to state. You got opiate overdoses and all these types of things is at an all-time high right now. So this is like my city taking a hit on shit like that. It's motherfuckers dying every day that ain't waking up. You know what I'm saying? Like people, like it's just people passing off. You know, the drug world is crazy. And I'm from a family that was full of drug users and stuff like that, so I understand all this type of stuff. The pains, the what you go through when you seeing your family go through all these types of things. Both of my parents had drug addiction when I was coming up as a kid, so I seen firsthand a lot of things going on as far as people struggling with drug addiction. You see what I'm saying? So once again, condolences to Master P and his family, man, because drug addiction ain't an easy thing to overcome for people that's addicted, but at the same time, with no support, it's harder for them to get over having an addiction. But at the same time, it's the addiction outside that's changing our world. We seeing more bums, we seeing more people without jobs, we seeing more people fail than succeed due to addiction, and addiction is a choice. You always got to understand that when you addicted to something, that's a choice. You always have a choice to do or don't. To do or don't. You always have a choice. Just remember that shit. Because I think some people forget that. Just like I smoke blunts. I got a choice. I don't have to or I can. If I don't want to, I don't got to. If I want to, I can smoke. It's a choice. You always have a choice. Just like a street nigga got a choice. Go do some dumb stuff or don't do some dumb stuff. We all got a choice. What choice you pick decides your fate. It dictates your outcome. All of this stuff. So you got to consider a lot of this stuff, man. And when I say condolences to the world and the families that's losing people due to addiction, I'm saying prayers to the world, because this shit going on everywhere. Not just in Louisiana, not just in Ohio, not just in the Midwest. It's in the South. It's in the West Coast. It's in the East Coast. It's in the Midwest. It's overseas. This shit is everywhere. If you ain't never seen The Walking Dead, all you gotta do is go outside. That's how bad this shit is. You see what I'm saying? Y'all hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. We're gonna tap back in with y'all later on.